action. Hello, and thanks for tuning in. As always, this is Reverend JR, and just a brief update. This is going to be kind of a short video, because I work a bunch of hours next week, which means I don't have tomorrow to work on this video like I normally would. So, I hope you enjoy. The first thing we're going to look at today is Girl Defined. They have a book launch coming. And I'll bet you never guess what it is.
Hey guys, we are so excited for the first time ever to officially show you the cover of our brand new book that is set to release April 30th.
You hear that? There's a book coming out. The timing on this is just impeccable.
So this book is called Sex, Purity, and the Longings of a Girl's Heart.
Did you hear that? I think their timing is bad. This is what you call, impropriety, I think. They're doing a book on sex, purity, and the longings of a girl's heart after they flubbed up terribly on that letter they responded to about those three things. You'd almost think they're just in it for the money or something, and that they don't actually care to pay attention to what they're doing. I might pick this up and read it. We'll do it right here. I haven't done the missing dimension in sex in a while, but maybe we can go back to that eventually.
Discovering the beauty and freedom of God-defined sexuality.
The beauty and freedom of God-defined sexuality. Which is to say that women are property and men can do whatever they want to them, almost without limitation, according to the Bible. But, ignore that, I guess.
And this book really came as a result of us talking to hundreds of you through social media, through email, and in person.
You hear that? They talked to a bunch of people. And they had to have this book done before they responded to that email. And they still decided to move forward with it, showing absolutely no tact. I think that's where I'm going to leave it for now, because that's all the more I really want to discuss it. What I really want to get into is this article from Broadly, a division of Vice, about what the future of the feminist movement is. 12 leading voices respond. Let's just jump down here and see what they have to say. So the primary premise here, according to the article, is that our culture is saturated with dystopian images of what the future could look like. Yeah, I mean, Fallout 4 exists. And, Mad Max, it exists. There's plenty of dystopian things. I don't think they're speaking directly about us, though. Although, 1982 might have been. Imagine you're in the writer's room creating the anti-Black Mirror, or Anti-Handmaid's Tale. I don't believe I've read or watched either of those. But I mean, yeah, there are a bunch of fictional things about a dystopian future. Like Spaceballs, Star Wars, Star Trek. Every planet they visit is dystopian. The Gilded Age, and so on. Anyway, let's not linger too long on it. I want to talk about the actual articles here. Speaking of which, the premise is, talk to me about the pilot episode. What's your vision for a world 50 years out from now that looks like a feminist utopia? So we're talking about the idea they're pitching a show that this is what they would want to see the pilot, the premiere, the first episode, the overall feel of it be. As for what a feminist utopia would look like. So let's go with King Princess, the apparent leader by virtue of being the first one on interview. This video brought to you by the beer in my fridge. And this person says, for me it would look like gays and women and people of color is just running shit. Okay, so those gays can presumably be men. All the white men, in this narrative there's still a couple but they're very docile. Alright, so white men are not gay, according to this narrative. Just give money to women to fund their ideas. Fine. Good for me, but if I'm not doing the trash collecting because you're running everything, women, what money would I be giving you? I wouldn't be a part of your economy to give you any money. You'd be doing all the shit jobs. Remember, feminism is allegedly equality. But again, I wouldn't do it. She continues, they're like a bank. So the men should be in charge of all the money, and they should let their women spend it. Sounds like a nuclear family, in a way, doesn't it? Anyway, in this future, they continue, the Oscars would have very few old white people. Because it's all about inclusivity, and that's why we exclude people like Tarantino, or Kevin Smith, Or Steven Spielberg. Yep, screw them guys. They didn't make good movies. They're just white men who built entire industries. Mind you, there's women who have done it too. I'm just not as familiar with them because I don't watch a lot of movies. And we would just honor incredible female, queer, black, trans art. So basically, identify as a woman or you're excluded from society. It doesn't say anything about the straight people, which makes you wonder, how would they continue the race with no straight people left to do anything? Like, have babies or whatever. Anyway, and much like the woo peddlers they are, they also begin their sentences with conjunctions because they can join about as well as their ideas. That was terrible. And we'd end this idea that you have to watch or enjoy certain content just to prove you're woke. Amazing, isn't it? Because that's kind of the opposite of what the Democrats or Republicans on the far sides would have you believe. You have to reject certain media right now in order to appear woke. But they're saying you could watch Alex Jones and it'd be fine, except Alex Jones wouldn't be allowed to have a series because he's not, a gay woman of color running shit. We just watch good content. Well, I already do. I enjoy watching Philly D and Shoe on Head. And I enjoy them about equally. I don't think that makes me a misogynist or an anti-feminist. Also, every club would be a drag bar. So the women would have to dress as men because they're not allowed to dress as women because they have to dress in drag. Yeah, drag is when you wear clothes normally worn by the opposite sex, indicating that there are only two of them. You can't have opposites if there's three, or some other number. But anyway, that's going to be it for today. This video is too long already. If you enjoyed that, hit that like button. If you didn't, click that one. If you want to get your name on my screen, be sure to check out the links down below. And as always, this has been Reverend JR, signing off.